Did you notice in this moment that even though both guys' mouth moves here, only Goh talks? Talk about an oversight. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, episode 61 of the Journey's anime titled Leave Everything to Us, the Plusle and Minun Handymen just dropped, and in this episode, a nervous handywoman tries to overcome her fears as she has to work alone to do jobs. Will she be able to do it? Let's find out. The episode begins with a tap in Cerise's laboratory being broken as Goh and Ash are trying to save it, and apparently Cerise knew about it but just didn't do anything. What a guy. Anyways, he called the Plusle and Minun Handymen to come fix it, and they do. This group consists of Plusle, a Minun, and then the two actual handymen are Dividi and Multiply. Dividi seems like he's the one who actually does most of the fixing, while Multiply assists him. The Plusle and Minun are there to turn on any electrical things or cheer them on. Multiply seems to be the one that is nervous all the time and messes things up. As they're about to leave Cerise's laboratory, Dividi trips and Multiply makes it worse by jumping on him. So now Dividi's in a hospital and Multiply has to do the jobs on her own, even though she's nervous and she thinks she can. And on top of that, the Minun is also mad at her because it's more attached to Dividi than it is to her. Also, I've been saying his name wrong. It's Divi, not Dividi. Anyways, they get calls and now Multiply has to work on her own, and Ash and Goh decide to help. Their first job is to groom a bunch of Tauros, and they're pretty successful at it. The second job they get is to find a lost Tauros in a mine. You'll see that Tauros is a theme throughout this episode. They go into the mine and find the Tauros, but while they almost get out the Tauros without any issues, Grookey jumps on Tauros, causing him to be upset and chasing them out. So even though they're successful, this one wasn't as clean. Meanwhile, Team Rocket are in the park, and they're also planning to get the horde of Tauros, but don't know how. Jessie, when she goes to drink a water fountain though, accidentally breaks the fountain and water's going everywhere. Meowth spots the handy van, which seems to be right nearby, and calls up Multiply to help. She's nervous, but with the help of Ash, Goh, and Plusle cheering her on, she's able to fix it. Minun is still upset at her, by the way, and after she fixes it, she gives them a pamphlet for her company. This is where Team Rocket get an idea. They're gonna dress up as handymen and go to the Tauros place and pretend like they're there to help. They're also successful in doing so, but they get out just before Ash and Goh and Multiply show up, so they're confronted, and eventually they show their disguise and try to run away, only for Meowth to fall off the back of this wagon into a hole and all the Tauros getting out of their Pokeball, all of them stuck down there. Now, Multiply really has to get it together, and with the cheering of Plusle and Ash and Goh there, she gets confidence and she decides to go down there and help the Tauros by putting them into winches and pulling them out. She even asks Team Rocket to help her out. They start pulling the Tauros up one by one, and they're successful for the most part until it comes to the final Tauros when the battery in the car runs out and the winch gets stuck, causing her to almost fall through the well, and now they're stuck in the well with the Tauros, Meowth, and her hanging. Minun sees both Plusle cheering and Multiply working really hard to save the Pokemon, so she begins to get the confidence to get out. Minun and Plusle then go over to the battery and try to use Discharge, but they don't have enough power. So Ash has Pikachu use Thunderbolt on them to charge them up, and sure enough, now they're able to fully power up the battery as James is able to pull them up in the winch. Everyone is happy, even Team Rocket's willing to let them go, except the Tauros have something to say about it and send them blasting off. The episode ending with Multiply being happy that both Plusle and Minun are happy with her, and she's gained confidence in doing work on her own. You could probably tell that the review is pretty short, and that's just because there's nothing much to this episode. It's not a bad episode by any means, it's a fine episode, but I just don't think there's really anything you can glean from it. It's not like Goh catches something new, or it's not like Ash learns a new skill. It's kind of a filler episode, so if you want, you can skip it and you're not really missing out on much. The next episode looks like Goh's Sobble is evolving, but it looks like it's going to be depressed. If you know the evolution of Sobble into Drizzile, then you know this episode was probably expected. Still, I can't wait to see the aftermath of this. But anyways, that is it for my review of episode 61 of the Journey's anime. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe in the comments. Let me know what you thought of this episode. You can follow me on Twitter at PdGaming, and that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.